All right, everybody, welcome to session 6 of the unnamed Planescape game. Because of the rather long hiatus, I'm going to read a summary of the past 5 sessions.
I sort of remember what happened. We were looking for Elias and we were outside the Doom Guard factory. So I think we like debated a bit like how exactly to approach it, but we wound up just going into the front door where we had to talk to some asshole manager who we dubbed Dingleberry, who told us that the factory is dangerous, so we couldn't go in. But I sent Keelfu, my familiar, in and we located Elias. And then Uthermath went in and spoke to him. And it turned out that Dingleberry was 100% correct about that factory being dangerous. But Elias told us he'd meet us at the Black Sails, that bar we were previously at. So we wound up going to the Black Sails, and I think Chaz was like waiting outside. And after the shift ended, they all came to the like Elias and a bunch of his friends came to the Black Sails, and they decided that Chaz was there to threaten Elias. So I forget who may have been with Elias, but they thought he was threatening Elias. So there was like a little bit of an altercation. And we wound up putting Elias to sleep, killing two of the Doom Guarders. We got out of there with Elias. And he basically, after we explained to him that, we were there on behalf of Bendon Mawl who wanted to see him, he didn't actually seem, he told us like he had a dream about Lathander and had been thinking about the Isle of Black Trees and something about, I forget the wizard's name, but some wizard who was in some way tied to the Isle. So he's having these sort of prophetic Lathander related dreams. I'm not sure if any of us knew who Lathander was. But he basically sort of agreed like he'd go and talk to Bendon Mawl. And then we led him back to the Black Sails, where at this point the Harmonium Harheads were all looking into the murders of the Doomguarders. So we're like, yeah, we'll see you later. And he walked up, and the Harmonium agents immediately arrested him. And we were like, well, guess he's not going to go see Bendon Mall now. Even though he was really more just a witness. The Harmonium's not necessarily known for always being super thorough or fair. So we don't know what's going to happen to him, but we had decided that we were going to go back and talk to Bendon Mall and see if he wanted us to do something further other than our bang up job that we had done to this point. Um, and on our way back, I don't think we had gotten out of the lower ward, but on our way back, we were surrounded by shadowy figures or maybe actual shadows.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we ended it. I don't remember much after that.
I do want to note in the last session, Kido creating a grease spot that one of the Doom Guard slipped in, which then Dobrun proceeded to slip in and smash the guy's head underneath Dobrun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh, Sat on that skull. Some
uh
ears heard like a deep as like trying out 30 teeth. Like wish she was dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trenfeld's like lucky.
Ah,
yeah, so
Yeah, so we may have only intentionally killed one of the Doomguard people.
I killed one on accident too, just because I didn't know my spell was going to kill him.
oh yeah, because you had like a super crit success.
No, he hit
Or
me through my dread armor, and it retaliated and killed him.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Brutally.
yeah, Elias
Yeah,
was reading a book about the Isle of Black Trees and reading about Talmazar the Diviner. who had some prophetic words about the Isle of Black Trees and something about the key to it all being found in the Lizzie Midland slums.
Yep.
So I'm sure if we just go there and ask if anyone knows the key to the Isle of Black Trees, we'll figure this out quick. Or, like look for signs, like literal signs posted on walls. Are you interested in the Isle of Black Trees? Call this number now.
Take exit 64.
That's right.
Um, so you guys are in an alleyway, uh, still in the lower ward. As you're on your way back to the Blue and True or True and Blue Detective Agency, when you notice these shadows forming in front of you and then rising up from the ground, and several behind you doing the same. Uh,
So these look
before,
like actual, just like humanoid shadows.
so they start off looking humanoid, but some of them grow additional features, such as other additional arms, wings. Some grow really large. Um, some have twisted forms that aren't really humanoid any longer. Um, and before anything else happens, I just give you guys a chance to react to these shadows forming surrounding you.
Dobrun pulls out. He has on his back. He has a glaive. He pulls it out and like twirls it in his hand, and he says, "My maid needs some help."
What's our surroundings look like besides these shadows?
You're in an alleyway, about 15 feet wide, stone walls on either side of you that go up 30 feet, maybe 40.
Um, I'm just gonna hide in the group. Everybody else is bigger than me.
So are people like injured? I'm not, apparently.
Dobrun
I'm
is.
down.
Only slightly. But at this level, that could be deadly.
So I am going to face the shadows then and use my Mizium apparatus to cast a spell that I do not have prepared. So I could fuck this up and cast the wrong spell. But the DC is 12.
Oh,
So
nice.
I cast protection from evil on myself, evil and good, and
Okay,
use my last spell slot.
thank you.
Dobrun, he assumes a combat stance with his bonus action.
I just like get between as many people as possible and sort of look over his shoulder. Are ye friend or foe?
So as these shadows form around you, uh, they begin to change even further. They become more solid. Some of them begin to appear like skeletal creatures with rotting flesh still hanging from their bones. Others appear to be fiendish creatures of just with terrifying visages. And then your vision, each of you notice that your vision begins to cloud. And it's almost as if your surroundings drain like ink sliding from a canvas. The buildings around you, the the familiar horizon and strange horizon of Sigil that you've come to be used to fading. Instead, you see yourselves in a silver gray void stretching endlessly in all directions. Stars and thought-born motes of light drifting like sparks in a black sea. Beneath your feet lies something impossibly vast, a petrified body. The corpse floats as a continent in the void, with mountains of bone and valleys of decayed flesh forming the battlefield upon which you now stand. From the cavernous hollows of its ribs and the jagged ridges of its bone wings, hordes of demons and undead spill forth, as well as floating corpses of demons already slayed. Clawed horrors shriek in the airless silence, while skeletal hosts clamber across this giant's surface. Their eyes blaze with hunger for your souls. In the chaos, time itself seems to shudder, and then the battlefield is drowned in a radiant gold. A tall figure manifests before you, a jackal-headed creature, the size of which nearly comparing to that of the giant on which you stand. His presence bends the void around him, and the demons recoil, shadows curling away from his form. His gaze falls upon you, each of you, as though peering past your flesh into the truth of your being. His voice resonates not in sound, but in your minds, carrying the weight of eternity. You have wandered too long without memory. I have come to restore what was taken, and to steady your hand against the corruption that would claim you. Stand firm, mortals. Remember who you are and why you fight. As the words settle into you, you suddenly, your vision changes once more, and slowly, from the edges of your vision, clarity begins to increase further and further until it encompasses the rest of your vision, and you see yourselves now firmly in the office of the True and Blue Detective Agency.
I just like tap Uthermeth on the back. It's like, that was a hell of a spell. It
Surely was.
stank. It
I wonder who
smelled
cast
very
it.
bad, but I was great. How often can you do that?
Oh, I cannot do that ever. I do not know who cast that spell. But the good news is this will save our clients some money paying our fees to travel back to the office.
Man, he doesn't have to know that.
Well, we cannot lie to him.
You can't. Go ahead. Who am I to try and change you?
So did everyone see what I saw?
I don't know what you
A
see.
titanic body floating in a void covered in skeletal creatures craving our souls. and
Did
a jackal-headed figure bathed in light who chased them away and told us to remember who we are and why we fight, as if we could forget who we are.
Yeah, it's only ever been me. I've only been you.
Dobrun see that? Or was it too far away for him to see?
You didn't see it as the others did, but everything that was described you experienced through your own unique way of sensing the world.
I saw the source of the path, or a source of the path. It spoke. And it spoke to us all.
I am not sure what it means. We were simply looking for Elias, whom we found. I wonder if it has something to do with those assassins that have been popping out of the shadows and killing the Barmies.
It said we had forgotten who we are.
Yes, that is strange. I feel like I know who I am.
I must
we-
meditate on this.
Are we Barmy? We were in that alleyway, and now we're here. Maybe we lost track of time. He told us to remember. We forgot how we got here.
Perhaps we fell through some sort of portal.
Dobrun is like he like extends his sight out to the reaches it can. Does he see any of the shadow figures? I mean, he's kind of thinking that this we might be still like in an illusion or a vision or something going on. So he's going to be kind of trying to poke at the edges, determine what's real. So basically, what I'm thinking is like him pushing out his blind sight as far as we have never left the mindscape. Pushing his blind sight as far as he can. Or his eyes to the path, rather.
So you reach out with your eyes of the path and try to extend your senses to get clarity on the reality around you, expecting to see some kind of figures behind illusions or something else that may be bending reality with magic. But all you find is the office that you've come to know and expect of the True and Blue, or Blue and True Detective Agency. Is it Blue and True or True and Blue?
Um, I am blanking on that. Technically, it was Frank who came up with the name.
Blue and True.
Yeah.
Does the jackal-headed person look familiar? Can I make a religion roll or something? Check maybe.
Yeah, anybody that's trained in religion can make a check with regards to what you've seen.
Eh,
Trained, but terrible at it. That's why he left the Enclave.
Um, I think it's somewhat fitting who gets this information. So I'm gonna send you a message. All right.
I mean, the guy looked like Anubis. It's like a weird god. Saw pictures of him. I think you only really see pictures of him.
I do not know this god.
Jackal
Is
head. That's all
this?
I know. He has a jackal head. That guy had a jackal head.
What was, and I missed it. What was the jackal-headed person doing? Was that the one talking, or was that like part of the demon? Okay.
No, that was separate figure that was talking.
And who had the golden radiance around him and chased off the demons or the skeletal things that were clamoring after us.
Kind of an
And
unusual look for a god of death. Or the dead. Something like that. Maybe he's one of the good ones.
Mhm. Um, Everybody make me a perception check.
Oh,
Message sent.
So do we go to your client now? Or
feel like we've been like awake an inordinately long period of time.
bros, when
So
we were in the alley, it was night, bro. Now it's almost high noon. No wonder no wonder I'm famished.
seems more like we're the barmy ones now.
Perhaps we should take a nap.
Well,
Does the
as you
time make
guys,
sense? Like, because I know the ring is huge.
it does. It also is each of you notice as you make a point of saying, you know, of potentially feeling tired or needing a nap, uh, you each feel fairly refreshed.
Like, as in long rest refreshed.
Hmm.
Where's that at again? Shit. Long rest here.
I check the locks. Is my hair holding up?
Your hair looks amazing.
Oh, well, bro, that bro was excellent.
It's shining and it's well conditioned, not a split end in sight.
Chess. Did you try a new product?
Same product, bro. I think it's that jackal dude. He might be like the patron deity of hair care, among other things.
I suppose a god can have more than one domain.
That's a serious domain, bro. So, yeah.
perhaps this warrants further study. Maybe you can find a way to repeat this. Perhaps you could start a whole line of that Jackal Dude shampoo and conditioner products.
Right, bro. I don't know if it's something we should profit off of.
give it away
I'm
for free.
sure, yeah, I'm sure I could help you set up a nonprofit where you donate the proceeds you raise.
No, we give it to the people, bro.
It's a form of donation.
Well, where to
So
next? My hair is immaculate, bro, so I'm ready to go. What are we doing?
suppose we should go and talk to Bendon Mawl.
At that moment, there's a knock at the door.
Listen, I'm not a fan of creepy occurrences like this. So if that is the guy that you got the job from, I'm leaving.
So how are we treating the disappearance of Fisk? Do we notice that? Is he
He's
there?
asleep. He's just asleep over on the moss. He is taking a nap.
Oh man, this is actually perfect. No, you do not notice his disappearance at all.
Because he didn't disappear. He's right there.
No,
Okay.
he just doesn't even enter your mind as a thought.
I go open the door.
I remember when I set up this inquisitive agency all by myself.
Well,
You sure?
obviously he stayed with that deity, bro, because he's all fur, so he might require a little extra time.
Oh, that's for. I go open the door.
And before you stands a blue person with wings
Not
cloaked over
Fisk.
his shoulders. Not Fisk.
I'm like, bye, and I just walk past.
Oh, excuse me. It is Bendon Mawl.
I go to like a
Bro, we were
side
just
window
talking
and look
about you,
inside.
bro.
Yes, we're going to have to come and find you. So this is fortuitous timing at the very least.
Found him, bro.
Find me. You summoned me here yesterday. Left a message with my man.
I'm afraid I do not remember that. It's possible that none of my companions do. We have some missing time issues going on since we had the little vision in the lower wards. Perhaps we were conscious the whole time and did things without realizing it, which would explain why we all feel so chipper and well rested.
That sounds like quite quite an experience to have. Um, anyways, have you found Elias?
We did, however, he is in the custody of the Harmonium. He
Hmm.
was, when we spoke to him, open to possibly coming to see you. And assuming your interest in him in some way relates to the Isle of Black Trees, he it was a topic that was on his mind as he had been reading a book about it and Talmazar the Diviner. But unfortunately, for the moment, I don't know how long it will take him to extricate himself from Harmonium custody, since they took him following a brawl in which two members of the Doom Guard were killed.
Hmm.
We don't know if they suspect him of being involved in the deaths.
So you know of the Isle of Black Trees.
Yes, it came up in our investigation searching for him in the first place.
And what did you learn from Elias of this?
He said that there is some sort of key to figuring out the mystery of the Isle of Black Trees, but it is somewhere in the Lizzie Midland slums. He was not more specific than that. Although it did occur to me as he was talking that we could go to wherever he was staying and try to find this book he was reading.
Hmm. Well, you said that he's with the Harmonium in their custody.
Yes, they seem to arrest him.
Hmm. Not ideal, but not a problem. I thank
There
you
was also,
for.
go ahead.
I will allow you to finish.
I was going to say there is also, in some way that is still obscure, some connection between Elias and the series of murders of the Barmies in the slums by a sort of shadowy group of teleporting assassins. It's not clear why, but they are in some way tied up with the dustmen. But many Barmies have been killed by them, and it's not at all certain why these assassins are being hired to do these things.
Hmm. Well, that sounds a little bit beyond my interest. Um, I don't care if armies are getting killed, but I am glad that you found Elias. Uh, being that he is in Harmonium custody, it should be rather simple for me to speak with him there. So, I believe that we should settle up. What is the balance of the services rendered?
Uh, so I mean, I as a player haven't been keeping track of these things. Like I don't remember what the coach cost us to get there, or like room and board at Trunfeld's. But I know it was 100 gold pieces a day if we hired additional people. So let's say it was like, 325 for the 3 days we were working.
Um, hmm,
From a
fair.
window, you hear say 400.
Uh, he pulls a purse from his belt, doesn't bother counting it, and he hands it to Uthemeth. Um, Here, this should cover it and some additional.
Thank you.
Uh,
If you need anything further, please let us know.
certainly will. All right, well, good day. And he turns and he walks away. Um,
I imagine somewhere in the back of my head, I'm like, why do I want to divide this into 5 parts when I should only divide it into 4?
um,
But I will break it up into 4 parts and dole it out to the people.
um, so he gave you 500 gold pieces.
Wait, you overpaid.
Don't tell him that. He
I
paid us for a job well done.
Kiddo's gonna change and then follow this guy for a little bit.
Okay.
That's 125 each. And we
Give
can settle up with Fisk if he ever returns to our living memories.
um give me a stealth check.
Um, I don't know. I don't know if this really can help right now, but maybe it'll just give me just a tad bit of an advantage of some kind, a situational advantage. I don't know.
Uh
I'd use the
yeah,
points if possible.
I'll give you an additional +2 to your check.
Hmm. Still, accidentally
Right.
stealth this guy to death.
Um so you follow him for a while. Uh and
Well, I guess
so
actually I could right before I start to follow this guy, I could actually just message. I guess I'll probably do Uthermeth said just say, I'll be right back. I'll be back in a little bit. And then I followed. But just that way, he's expecting me.
So you follow him for a while. How long do you follow him for?
Um,
He clearly does not notice you, and you are very confident you have free capacity to do whatever you want as you trail him.
I'd say for as long as I feel like he's going in an interesting direction.
Okay. Based on your astute knowledge of Sigil, um, and also with him saying that he would be seeking out Elias with the Harmonium, he's going to the Harmonium headquarters, the barracks.
Okay. So I know for sure he's like heading, it seems like he's heading that direction at least. If I follow him for like an hour, it's how far away is that from the agency? That's what I would need to
Uh,
know.
um, it's definitely in one of the nicer areas of Sigil. No, actually not. You guys are in the merchant district. It's probably in the merchant district, to be honest. So it's probably within an hour travel from the Blue and True detective agency.
Okay. I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait for him when he goes inside to see how he comes out. If he comes out alone or if he comes out with Elias.
Okay. Um, so he is in there for a good 2 hours. And then he leaves and he seems like he is getting ready to use a portal, uh, which goes directly to the hive.
Oh, like a known portal.
Yeah, a known portal that has managed to help get around Sigil. So it's one that he has to pay to use.
Gotcha. Um, okay.
You do know before well actually as he leaves the barracks, he has a couple of Harmonium escorting him as well.
Hmm.
They seem to be deferential to him rather than leading him or uh to be in their custody.
Right. Um, okay. Yeah. This is not setting that I can put a tracking device on this guy. So if he's taking a portal, I'm gonna just head back.
Okay.
But he went to the hive.
Hmm.
Okay. That's where we spent all that time, right? Or no, wait,
Yeah.
where were we
Yeah.
at? Okay, yeah, it was, yeah. Okay.
While Cadeau is out, Dobrun says, or Dobrun muses, and that it kind of muses the group. What do we know about? What do we know about Bendon Mawl? He seems he seemed quite confident about being able to get to speak with Elias inside the Harmonium HQ.
All I know is that he hired us to go and find Elias. Also, he's blue.
Dabba dee dabba die.
He must have some connection with the Harmonium.
Doubtlessly, if he thinks he can get even to see Elias would be remarkable, given that they are not the friendliest of groups. But no doubt Elias will be pleased that someone is appearing who may have an interest in saving him. Especially as we know, he is completely innocent.
Hmm. Says me, did he ever say why he wanted Elias?
No, but we surmised, and he more or less confirmed, that it relates to Elias having some connection to the Isle of Black Trees,
Right.
where there is, according to the rumor, some hidden treasure.
Right. Well, it seems he has Elias if he is connected to the Harmonium.
It will be interesting if someone actually does find the Isle of Black Trees. Assuming we ever hear about the outcome, that is.
If we find it ourselves, we may never have to take another job.
That is true, but we were given a contract and we've fulfilled it. If we can find more information about it now, it certainly might be worth following up. I don't feel as though we are ethically forbidden from finding the Isle ourselves. Though I'm much more concerned about whatever it is we did in the past 18 hours or however long it's been. All we really know is that we apparently rested and we contacted Bendon Mawl and returned here to this office. All of which seem to be perfectly normal, so at least we have that going for us, but who knows what else may have occurred in those missing hours. Or why this jackal-headed god would tell us to remember things and then immediately let us loose with missing memories. Perhaps he was saying he wants us to remember what happened in the past 18 hours.
If Bendon Mawl had heard word from us, surely there would be others who could corroborate our presence.
Possibly. I
Yeah.
can't think of who we might ask, though.
We could start perhaps with, do we have any neighbors?
I mean, we have neighbors occupying this very space, I think, just in alternate dimensions. Each key opens up the same door, but to a different place.
I always thought the energy was odd in here.
We could go knock on doors, though it's hard to say who would open them. Or we could return back to the alley where we disappeared and see if there are any clues there. Where the
Well,
shadows first accosted us.
if we're not on the job, then that seems like a prudent thing to do. At least we didn't have a company car or a company carriage. Don't we have to worry about where it's parked?
Where's your car, dude?
I would be willing to take a trip back to see if we can find out anything more about what happened. And I'm also troubled by this command to remember who we are and why we fight, as I'm still not certain what he was saying or why he was saying that to us. It seems as though we do remember who we are and why we were fighting. We were on a job given to us by Bendon Mawl.
What did I miss?
And I will slide your 125 gold over to you.
Thank you very much.
We were talking about possibly going back to the alley where we lost our memories, where all our time disappeared, to try to figure out what has happened to us in the past day or so. Chaz, are you in?
Well, let's go, bro.
As you get ready to get up and leave, there's a knock at the door.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving again. I'm leaving again. I go and open the door.
So standing before you is a
Bendon Mawl. Oh, wait, damn.
no. uh a half-elf girl standing about 5'9" with a wiry frame built more for endurance and strength. Her dark auburn hair is tied back in a loose braid, um, though there are flyaways constantly escaping, giving her a windswept look. Uh, Her skin is tanned from constant travel, with faint freckles dusting her cheeks. A pair of thin-framed spectacles perch on her nose, with sharp green eyes that gleam with restless curiosity. Her traveling clothes are layered and worn, patched in places but well cared for, and around her neck hangs an amulet shaped like an open book with a quill across it. Uh, Hello, is this the detective agency?
Yes, it is.
Why, yes, it is. Please come on in.
Oh, thank you. And so she comes in. She is also carrying a backpack. And she looks for a place to sit down.
So I imagine there is like a guest chair across from the desk.
Um, so how do I go about requesting your services?
Well, just tell me what it is you would like us to do, and we can discuss whether or not that is within our skill set and how much it would cost.
Okay. So there are a few things going on. Uh, have you heard about the strange church in the lower ward?
I have not.
I don't think so.
It's not anything that any of you immediately recollect. Although, Kiddo, give me just a intelligence or history check.
We don't know what we heard about in the past 24 hours.
Right.
Okay. So I'm gonna share something with you.
supposed to go to everybody?
It was not, but there we are.
Gotcha. Um, I'll just say, yeah, I mean, I heard a little bit. Go ahead, tell them about it.
So there's this church. It was I don't know exactly why. And it's strange because never really noticed the church before, but it was being demolished and people started disappearing. Um, it's caused a huge commotion in the neighborhood. Uh, and it seems like the signers and the lost are ready to go to war over it. Um, it's just all so strange, but I need to get to the bottom of this. I can't let I can't let a war break out in that area, and I need to know more about what's going on in the church and why are the signers and the lost so ready to fight over what's there?
So when you say people disappeared, do you mean they instantaneously vanished or they disappeared over time after touching the pillars?
No, one minute they're working, the next minute they're gone.
And this church was dedicated to what religion?
I honestly don't know.
What
And
icons do you remember seeing?
Uh, honestly, I couldn't tell you. As I said, I'd never really noticed the church before, and then it was being demolished, so it really could be a church to anywhere.
Okay.
and do you have any idea why either the signers or the lost are fighting over this? Are the people who disappeared somehow related to them?
Um, no, no, not that I know of. That's part of the reason why I'm hiring you is so that you could give me more information about what it is that's going on. Um, the
Are you
only,
certain that them going to war then is related to these pillars at all?
well, because there've already been conflicts in the street between members of the Sign of One and the Athar.
But how does that tie to the church or the pillars?
Well, the Athar have gotten permission from the Harmonium to guard the church. The signers aren't happy about it. Like I said, I have my own reasons. I can't let fighting just spill into the streets over there. I need to know what's going on and to see if it can be stopped.
And have there been actual incidents of violence?
Yes.
And these were at or near the church.
Yes.
So our usual rate for the group is 100 gold pieces per day. Um, we haven't been in many situations where we might have to engage in violence ourselves. Obviously, sometimes that happens, but uh, if there is violence, the rates would be doubled, at least to the extent that we cannot avoid being in it. Consider it hazard pay. Plus, you would have to reimburse us for our expenses, which I would keep a log of.
Um, And what did you say that your rate was for the day?
100 gold pieces a day for the group.
Assuming no violence.
100 gold pieces a day. Uh, I yeah. She appears to be doing calculations in her head. Um, do you think you would be able to get the information that I need within a week?
I doubt it would take that long for us to come back. We would need to go to this church and do an initial investigation. At that point, we probably would come back to confer with you. I'm not sure what information it is you need based on what you've said to stop the war. If the sign of one are simply annoyed that the Athar are guarding this church, then nothing we uncover is going to remove the Athar from that position. And so the sign of one may continue to be annoyed enough to be provoked to violence. But we would go there for a day, perhaps two, to investigate the site, to try to figure out the mystery of these pillars to the best of our ability. And then one way or another, we would come back to speak with you, I'm sure.
That's fine. I understand that. I'm not asking you to stop what's going on between the signers and the lost. I just need to know what it is that's going on. Why are they both treating this demolished church so special? Um,
I mean, at least we could find more information, and that wouldn't take more than a day or two. But you have not given us your name or told us how to find you.
oh, yes, I'm sorry. Uh, my name is Sereth Valmorra.
Chaos takes out
Uh,
his black book and begins writing the name down.
um, as for where you can find me, uh, uh I can be found here, and she writes an address that um is in the lower ward. I I do have one potential lead. Um, there's there's this basher named who what is his name? Hulester? Yeah, that's it. Hulester. Um, he used to be a high-ranking member of the Athar, uh, but he was recently disgraced and kicked out as he was found to be an anarchist. Um, it was pretty public, and so I mean, clearly he's no longer in good standing with the faction. Um, and being an anarchist, I don't think that anyone is going to try and touch him with a 10-foot pole. Um, Probably not unless it's got a sharpened point at the end. But um, he may have some information about what they're up to and why they're doing what they're doing.
So, do you believe that the Athar would allow us to enter this church in the middle of being demolished? Or is their role there to keep everyone out?
Well, I think that they're keeping everybody out. I mean, with the disappearances, people are also pretty scared. So and that's one of the things that it seems like on the surface they're just trying to maintain the safety of the area. Um, but then why have the Harmonium offloaded that to the Athar? Uh, and and then why are the signers so desperate to get in and willing to at least at one in one instance actually come to blows with one another.
You feel
We
very
don't know
strongly
yet.
about this church.
I feel very strongly about my neighborhood around the church.
And there, its significance in their conflict.
War ain't cool, bro. You know that, Cadeau.
Yeah. If it ain't cool, it ain't for us, right? We gotta stop it.
So I would ask Cadeau if he knows where this church is, like
Yeah.
precisely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can get us there. I think I've seen it before it was demolished.
It sounds like people were disappearing, and so probably the demolishing stopped at that point. Also, you said that the pillars were located within the walls, like as in they were hidden within the walls.
Apparently, yes.
That's odd. Why would someone build pillars and then build walls around them?
They're trying to hide it. And then it got found. And now people are disappearing. There's definitely something to investigate.
Well, it is possible the pillars are sufficiently dangerous that they were walled up precisely to prevent people from touching them.
Yeah. Maybe.
Disappearances could mean that they were portaled or teleported somewhere else, or it could mean that they were disintegrated.
Yeah, was there dust on the floor?
I'm not sure. I wasn't there to see the disappearances.
The former seems more likely. This is, after all, this is a city where portals are commonplace.
But normally portals are a little more obvious than simply vanishing. That sounds more like direct teleportation or disintegration.
Banishment, maybe.
But this sort of mystery is part archaeological, which is certainly within our bailiwick.
And our what?
Bailiwick.
What?
I say like a little slowly, syllable by syllable, and loud and louder than normal.
Say again?
Bailiwick.
Who? What word is this? You just made that up.
It is unimportant. It is within our skill set.
Just say that.
Yes, it is within our bailiwick.
Don't you start.
All right. Well, at that moment, there is a almost a very surprising and loud sound of a gong going off within the middle of the office. And uh the girl stands up suddenly and says, "Oh gosh, I'm running late. I'm sorry. I have to go. Please let me know if you find anything." And then she excuses herself and uh runs out.
Do we know where the gong came from?
Seemed like it came from somewhere on her person.
Intriguing.
Some form of alarm spell.
Probably has a smartphone. Can make any noise you want.
Oh,
They're
followed
called
that one guy.
speaking stones.
Yeah.
We were on our way, or we were about to head out to inspect the alley, which we last remember.
I think your former patron is gone to see uh Elias. He went down to the where was it? The hive? I forgot now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He went off into the hive,
Did he get to
took a
see him?
portal. I don't know if he actually got to see him, but he had a couple of guys with him. Definitely going to make it official.
Huh. I hope he is able to get Elias off the hook for whatever he was arrested for.
I don't know if he really cares about that.
Yeah, I assume from everything he said, he wanted to speak to Elias, probably at greater length than we spoke to Elias. And he will probably want Elias' help in locating this Isle of Black Trees. It could be to his benefit to leave him in Harmonium custody, but if he needs additional help from Elias, he probably will want to get him out, thus placing Elias in his debt. But
Indeed.
that is not our issue anymore, as he is not our client.
Hmm.
So
So
where
we were going to
where
investigate.
yeah, we were going to investigate the alley.
Yeah.
But how far apart, like I would ask Cadeau about this, how
Yeah.
far apart is the alley and the church?
I was just thinking that myself. Same question.
Um, by foot,
I mean, just
probably.
is it convenient to hit both spots, or would it be like a big side quest to go back to the alley?
I mean, it all depends on what you're willing to spend to get there. Like, there are portals that you could get to that would be like nearly instantaneous, but those portals tend to be 10 jink per person. Uh,
Per
I mean,
person.
yeah,
I
that's
mean, we
Sounds
could
like
just
our
do that.
right. So it sounds like our client is cost sensitive, so we really couldn't charge her for our little personal side quest to go to the alley.
Only the first one to get to the alley. We could pay for the first one to get to the alleyway, and then from the alleyway to our church destination. Then we're on the clock.
I suppose I can live with that.
okay.
It'll speed it way up.
Right. We will save her possibly a whole day's worth of paying us.
So, kiddo, you know the way to the the closest portal that will get you to the hive where the alley is. Um, so you approach the spot. It's manned by one of the um hmm, which faction would likely be manning the portal? I'm gonna say it's the somebody from the Fraternity of Order. So the Fraternity of Order is manning this portal to the the hive. Um, it doesn't. It's not a portal that is always open, and so there's basically an empty platform with a person that is sitting in a chair. Well, no, more of sitting at a booth. Um, and there's not really a line right now because people don't tend to want a portal into the hive. But It exists and there is a market for it, though small as it may be. So it's pretty easy for you guys to just go up and uh, the person behind the desk says, uh, you trying to get to the hive?
Yes.
Well, for you cutters, it's 10 jink each.
So I bam.
I'm like, I'm not that big. I'll give you 9.
Give me a persuasion check. I don't have time for this shit. He just he lets you through. He gives each of you uh what appears to be the crushed remnants of a grasshopper. Um, as you walk over holding this crushed grasshopper in your hands, the portal responds, opening, allowing you to walk through.
I'm sorry that your life was sacrificed for us. Is he like, as Dobrun apologizes to the crushed grasshopper in his hand?
How does it trigger? Do we know? Like, do we have to like throw it down? Like diagonally.
I mean, if you want,
Will it get me anywhere?
that's Diagon Alley.
Like, sure.
Only the temperature. Uh,
So,
Welcome back to the hive.
uh,
Is it everything you remember? All the glory?
Is the air still the it does it have a does the hive have like just generally have a smell?
oh yeah, it smells of moldy piss and shit.
It's bad.
Dobrin takes a shallow breath. He's like, just as I remembered it.
Yeah. All right, it's this way.
Um,
Or at least in this general area. The alleyways, they shift sometimes.
yeah, so it is the way is a bit different than you would have expected, Godot, but because of your instincts and your knowledge of the city, you're still able to find the alleyway within 20 minutes.
How lit is it? We any what do we get?
Well, it's
Just a
probably only like 1 o'clock in the afternoon now. So, uh, I mean, being between two buildings and oriented in the way that it is not exactly, sunny. It's all covered in shadow, but it's clearly lit.
So I mean, I would investigate the area to see if there's any clues to our being there or where we went afterwards.
obvious signs of a struggle.
I mean, one of the things I would be on the lookout for is whether we got into a fight.
It's going to be so difficult to tell because it's been so long.
I mean, Dobrin is pretty large, in general. So like maybe I would, if there are footprints, he might leave an impression if there was any sort of
Right.
stuff.
Guys,
Right.
did we hang over
Or if
ourselves?
you cast grease and he fell on his ass, there might be like just the imprint.
That's true. That's true. That probably would be apparent. Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Can we take a 5-minute break?
Sure.
Sure.
All right. So you guys have reached the alley. Um, and Uthameth, you want to look for signs of having been in the alley?
Yes.
I
Okay.
mentioned that we all would be kind of doing our own like investigation. At least Dobrun would. Maybe Cadeau is like being lookout or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not very good at investigating anything.
What is it that you imagine your characters might find if they were to find something? Or what, do you guys have a sense of what you might be looking for?
No, I mean, I think it's not necessarily just one thing, but I mean, the obvious one is some sort of sign of a struggle or sign that we were unconscious and so laid out in this alley at some point. Um, I don't know. I don't know how trafficked the alley is, but if there's obvious signs that we basically just walked out of the alley like nothing happened, would look for that. If there's like, burnt residue from the golden radiance of Anubis on the walls, that probably would be something.
Okay. I think for this one, I'm gonna roll your guys's perceptions secretly so that it doesn't give away high rolls or low rolls.
So I have a 19 passive perception, but a 4 regular perception. And I have a +8 investigation.
All right. I'll take that into consideration. Do you want to use your focus more on your passive perception or your investigation?
I mean, for this, I'd probably rely on my investigation.
Okay.
Though technically that is one worse.
Okay. So so Uthermeth, you see you noticed a couple of things that come to your attention, and you can use your judgment to determine, what it means. But you do notice that there appear to be scraps of leather that seem to have been cut or torn with blood stains that are somewhat weathered. Um, and there do look to be drag marks, but only like if they are drag marks of like feet, it's only 2 feet, but it could be that, cart or something else. But you do notice drag marks that do line up somewhat with the width of a person.
So
Um,
you're saying the drag marks are 2 feet long?
like two drag marks parallel
Okay.
that are about the width of a person's feet splayed out. Um, and Kiddo, um, you notice the sense of slight magical residue in the area. It's hard to get a sense of what the origin of the magic is or the school of magic, but there is a faint residue that appears to be on the corner of the building at the entrance of the alley.
Might I roll an Arcana?
Also, you notice a cranium rat poke out from some trash and then run back into the trash.
Scary. All right. Can I roll Arcana on the vague magic I feel?
I'll let you do Arcana, but it's going to be a very high DC because of the faintness of the magic.
That's fair.
Saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, even with a 16, you're not able to clearly sense a particular school.
If anybody's like looks over at me, I'm sniffing the air.
I would be taking the scraps of leather and sort of comparing them to our clothing. Even Cadeau doesn't has to physically change clothes, but trying to identify if this came from one of us. And I would point out to people the 2 drag marks as if someone was like holding a body and walking backwards with it to get the body out of the alley, but not just lifting the body completely off the ground. But
The
we are all accounted for, so who could this body be?
Right.
Perhaps one of you went unconscious.
The leather doesn't seem to match any of your clothes.
But there is blood on it, so signs of some sort of fight. I didn't get the sense that the creatures I remember would have bled.
Um, I'll look over into that trash bin now though. Uh just like calling, can this one talk? I might be muted.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I just like the one where I saw the cranium rat. I just kind of like peer into the bin. I just Do you talk?
Um, you notice some rustling, but it's clearly trying to dig deeper into the trash.
Would have been funnier if you like leapt away with a rat on your nose.
Hey, you've got weasels on your face. Okay. Um, there's one of those rats with the brains in there. Can those things talk? I have never tried. Never had a chance.
What do we know about cranium rats? I mean, you're from this area. You might know more about them than the rest of us.
I only that I occasionally see them, I think.
So, cranium rats are somewhat common in Sigil.
Hmm. I don't imagine they ever let me communicate with them ever, despite multiple attempts at trying.
Well, what kiddo, what you would know is cranium rats, when they're alone, are not much more intelligent than a typical rat. It's only when they're in groups that they start to really gain intelligence. So it may be that anytime you've seen a cranium rat, it just didn't have enough cranium rats in the area to communicate. Or maybe they just don't like you.
Yeah, that's just what I assume. Kiddo is not the right kind of optimist for every person.
I was just thinking because cranium rats are telepathic. Godot walks down the street and the rats are like, freak. Still, if we can find more cranium rats and group them together, maybe they could tell us what they saw.
Collectively.
Like a poor man speak with animals.
Yeah, we only need to create a swarm of cranium rats.
And at least one of them has to have been here.
I,
Have you tried befriending the rat in the trash can?
he just dug away from me.
I don't blame him.
Do you have any food on you?
Got a little rat. He's in a trash can. He's got all he wants in there.
But it is possible that the food you would carry would be superior to what you would find in the trash can. Plus, I am not sure that here in the hive that they throw away all of their scraps as opposed to putting it into the meat chunk soup.
That's fair. I'll just like break off a little like crumb from a cracker or something like that from one of my rations. That I keep stashed in my bag.
You pull out your ration and do what with it?
I I'm like, hey, like dangling it over. Like I don't know how to do this as a character. So I'm like, hey, you want food?
Give me an animal handling check.
I hope that. Oh my god. Maybe hey, you know what? Maybe the rat is a little bit more intelligent than a normal rat.
It sticks its head out, starts sniffing.
It's like bring it a little close, a little bit closer, but still make it have to come out a little bit.
Give me another animal handling check.
It becomes your
I,
familiar.
I think I have a familiar
Roll,
now.
roll to confirm.
You know what? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my god. You know
Oh
what?
no.
You know what? I'll action point that motherfucker.
If you action point it, I'll let you have advantage.
Sweet. I'm gonna action point it for sure. Oh my god.
The cranium rat hops onto the edge of the trash can and it starts nibbling at the food and it starts kind of letting out this kind of high-pitched whine like a as it rubs its cheeks on your hand and then it continues to nibble the food and every time it rubs its cheeks on your hand you get a warming sense of joy just kind of spreading
Perfect.
and you can tell that it's not your joy that you're feeling but the cranium rats and because of its contact with you you're able to sense its feelings as a sort of pseudo telepathy since it lacks language in this state.
Sweet. I I don't know if it can pick up on what Kiddo would feel. But it would probably be just something along the lines of like, "Whoa, this is trippy."
So it's the best meet cute.
And then I just look over to everybody. Guys, look. I'd like see if it'll like crawl up.
Yeah, if you offer your hand and if you especially if you draw the food up towards your shoulder, it will follow.
Yeah. Break off another little piece for it.
It appears you've made a new friend.
Best buds, man. I'm like, hey. And I look I just like look at the premium rat eating its food. Did we come through here before? Like yesterday?
Um, with it being in direct contact with you, you can get a sense of its feelings. And as you say that, it feels confusion. But you also can tell that it can sense, even though it can't understand the complexity of your thought, there is a capacity to understand the simpler sort of sense of like, are you familiar? And this cranium rat does respond with a sense of you being familiar.
Okay. I'm like, well, I think he's seen us before. So that definitely confirms we came through here, at least.
Well, we knew we came through here.
I'm like,
Still, it confirms that this rat was here for when we came through here. If we can find other cranium rats, perhaps we can get better answers from this one's memory.
might be able to figure it out.
Our very own mind flayer spy.
Well, shall
I already know what feat I'm picking at 4th level.
shall we shall we continue to the church and on the way be on the lookout for additional cranium rats?
Yeah. Am I going to become the Pied Piper?
I just
No,
like I
we
do
need to rent pipes of the sewers to find all the cranium rats.
new side quest. 1 out of 20 cranium rats. Start breaking boxes along the way. See if we can find them inside.
Every box.
Yeah, we're digging through every trash can.
Overturning every boulder. I think I could jump down there. Hold on. Yeah, be right back.
It's like, oh boy, a sewer grating.
I wonder if I'll float down here.
So I agree. There's doesn't seem to be any obvious way to piece together everything that happened. Scraps of bloody leather. The cranium rat may be our best lead. But for the moment, we might as well go to the church.
Let's get going.
I have a feeling this god of the dead will probably visit us again.
Well, it seems if we're not able to remember, then he will come to remind us of what we've forgotten. If this draws out dangerously long.
I don't know what to make of the other imagery either. The Titanic dead being or the various creatures living on it.
What if we were just knocked out? Pretty sure
we
that
were-
there's magic out there that lets you mess with people's dreams. It's got to exist, right? Magic's crazy.
That is true, but the shadow figures began to take on a physical shape. I'm not sure why they didn't attack us if we were merely knocked out. And it only seems as though one person was dragged out of the alley.
Or everybody in the same path.
Possibly. Though the skeletal and fiendish figures didn't necessarily seem as though they would do us the favor of dragging us out.
I mean, what if we were already knocked out?
And it
Like
doesn't
gas
seem as
or
though
another spell.
doesn't seem as though we were robbed. So it's hard to believe we were unconscious in public view for long.
Not only were we not robbed, Chaz has a glow about his hair. So if anything, we were taken care of.
They washed his hair. What about my hair? Is my hair noticeably cleaner?
It's as clean as you want it to be. You're a changeling.
I don't know if I could like recreate grime necessarily.
You could recreate the color and texture.
Sure, sure.
Can changelings really like duplicate Chaz's hair? Is it that easy?
I
Right.
mean, it- it's possible, but not necessarily easy. They might need a disguise check. Rather high DC one.
I mean, I shifted into Chaz once already. For just a brief moment, I wanted to be as cool as he was. I wouldn't steal his look very long. That's his look.
Well, perhaps you could steal his look, but could you steal his aura of cool?
I mean,
His riz?
I'm pretty sure if Joe did, he would be considered a poser.
I could do so. Would I be doing so mechanically? No.
Chaz has that Gyat aura of 9,000.
He's so cool, he's magical. That's just what it is.
So we look.
Is this a conversation that's like happening on the way?
Like how Chaz is able to emit such an aura that we could feel it, we could tell.
I mean, I imagine it would be because the fact of the matter remains that Chaz's hair was not only brighter and more wash than it was pre-alleyway. It means that there was like great care taking care of that hair, which means that someone like, we were taken care of, or we took care of ourselves.
Right.
This will be like the first time as I rub my bald head, I wish I had magnificent hair.
If only he knew to wonder about our missing person, who we don't remember at all.
Uther Matt's like, dude, where's my hair?
I wanted to come into the place before and be like, didn't you guys have a cart? Where'd that go?
Oh yeah.
Where's your cart, dude?
But yeah, I imagine we'd start moving towards
Church.
The church. Yeah. Yeah.
So the church is on Arbor Road in the lower district. Now the distance from the alley to the church is about 8 hours of walking. If you want to use a portal, it'll take about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If you want to
Now we're on the
use
clock.
like a gargoyle taxi or some other form of taxi. The rates may be a little bit more affordable, but it'll still take a couple hours.
I mean, we don't have reason to get there sooner than later.
I mean, what time is it now?
About
Because it
1
was
p.m.
noon. Yeah, it was. That makes some sense. I think
Yeah, I mean, if
we
it takes a couple of
might be
hours,
best. It might be best to get there while there is still adequate light, natural light, that is, for us to be able to see what is going on inside the church. I can generate magical light if need be, but it would be good if we could see what we were doing without that. So I would think we should take a portal. Ultimately, if you consider we're earning 100 gold pieces a day, probably still would save her enough time to be worth it, especially as time seems to be of the essence.
indeed.
That's fine.
This way.
All right. So you find a portal. Um, it's similarly being managed by the why am I blanking on it?
The order, fraternity of order.
Yeah, fraternity over order. Why is it not showing up in here? Um, oh, anyway. Um, so this is a booth similar, but even more abandoned and decrepit. Um, this is a portal that almost never gets used. Nobody in the hive can afford to use a portal. Um, and so the fraternity of order person at the booth, uh, he says, "All right, you guys actually want to use the portal?
Yes,
Wow, I think you're the first people in a month that have actually wanted to use a portal and can afford it. You can afford it, right?
We saved up all year.
Okay. Uh, so it's 10 jink a piece.
I'd pay him.
All right. As you approach the portal, just think of happy memory.
About the crickets.
Every portal's different. Different key for every portal.
Dobrin thinks
Happy
Dobrin
memory, you said.
walks and he's like thinking about when he left, like the feeling of when he first left limbo and he got out of the chaos and had feet on solid ground.
A vibrant purple aura portal appears and you step through and appear in the lower ward.
I'll give him 10 gold. His happy thoughts real easy to find now. It's when he first arrived in Sigil and he met the Lady of Pain.
I'm surprised you didn't use the cranium rat.
Think about the feeling of eating that nearly flavorless hardtack an hour ago.
He was ecstatic. Okay. But it was nothing compared to that one.
I mean, I would think about the moment when, as a member of the Is It League, I graduated from being essentially little more than like data entry to being an actual researcher and thereby moved up and got paired with my master to do actual research.
Chaz, do you want to share your memory?
Chaz pays this dude that's 10 jink. He takes out his mirror, looks at it, runs his fingers through his hair, puts his mirror down. Happy thought right there, bro. Boom.
All right. You all arrive in the lower ward within about so Kido originally thought it would be about 20 minutes. It actually ends up taking about 45 to get to the church. Um, it's on Arbor Road, which is a quiet street with little activity.
Construction.
Uh, there there is a partially demolished church that sits near the corner. Um, it's so the church from outside, you do see what appears to be a fairly large glowing standing stone within the structure. It glows with a soft a soft golden light. There are two visible guards out front. Uh, and the interior of the temple itself looks dark, minus the soft glow of the standing stone that you can see from the street. The lot next to the church on the right has been cleared of whatever once stood there, and the building on the left, on the corner of the street, still stands, although it is likewise dark. Small yard surrounds the church, though there are no outbuildings or objects like markers, statuary, or tombstones or anything that you might expect on a church. Um, so that is what it looks like. As you stand and observe the church, you do notice a few people walking about, but as described, it is a fairly quiet street with little other activity.
So I would take the direct route and just try to walk into the church.
I was going to ask what's the lighting like?
Well, it's still the afternoon.
Okay.
Um, so as you approach the front yard of the church, uh, two very large guards run up to intercept you. Oh there. Where do you think you're going?
So I would take out my paperwork showing that I'm authorized by the Fraternity of Order to be a private detective and say, we've been told to investigate the pillar so that we can figure out how it is making people disappear, where those people are going, if those people are dead, if there is some way to make it safe to continue the demolishment of the pillar, that sort of thing.
Your credentials are no good here. There's this is the Athar managing this space, and we've been authorized by the Harmonium. You're not getting through.
How do you expect to demolish the church if you cannot touch these pillars?
That's our business.
Perhaps we should go have a chat with Bendon Mawl and see what he thinks.
You have a chat with whoever you like, or you can end up a body in the dead book. Don't matter to us. But you're not going anywhere near that church.
Why are you so intent on keeping it under wraps?
This isn't an interrogation, and you're certainly not the ones to be asking questions. Go before we get mad.
Have you been inside? It's an innocent question.
And you can see, and through your cranium rat, you can sense their rising anger.
Bro, Cadeau, these bros don't like questions, bro. Come on now. We don't want to aggravate them. They've been out here working, doing their thing, bro. Keeping people away from the church.
You can get paid to just stand there.
That's right, bro. You can just get paid and just drop attitude on everybody, bro. It's probably a good gig.
I just look at the guy, back to the guy. How much they pay you?
He pulls out his weapons.
Oh, right. No questions.
The last refuge of imbeciles. Shake my head at him.
What kind of weapons do they have?
One pulls out dual broadswords. The other is wielding a poleaxe.
Do they look like they're well maintained, taken care of?
Yeah, well enough. And they're armed in what looks to be chainmail and gabardine.
Okay. From a distance, I mean, I don't think I'm not probably within 10 feet of them. I pull out my rapier. Well, since we're all drawing weapons, bro, I'm showing you mine too. Look.
So we see these two have approached us. How many other people do we see in the area?
Uh, you can give me a perception check. Anyone can.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad.
So, Cadeau and Chaz. Well, Cadeau, you see two others approach from around the side of the church. One of them appears to be wielding a wand. The other is wielding a warhammer. And Chaz, you see somebody else running from the other side to the building next door.
Hmm. So why is there a bro running to the building next door? Is that part of the church?
No, he doesn't like questions.
Oh, that's right, bro. That's right. You don't like what? Yeah, it's
I'll say,
yeah. Gets
I'll just
it
say
gets him
quietly.
angry, bro.
I'll say quietly. There's two more coming to the side.
Yeah,
Let's
clearly quite violent. We don't want to get involved in violence if we don't
It's
have to.
bad vibes, bro. I don't like this.
It
We're
will cost our
leaving.
client an extra 100 gold. We don't want to do that.
let's take our leave for now.
Yeah, we're leaving. It's fine.
We
Like,
we have other methods for getting information.
yeah, come on, man,
Use them.
lighten up.
Let's go. Let's go have a confab over here, bros.
It
Don't worry,
costs you
we're not
nothing.
talking about you.
It costs, as we're like walking away, it costs you nothing to pull the stick out of your ass.
Yeah, Cooper, come on.
So what do you think, bros?
As you walk away, you see that they relax a bit. One of them returns to the door, the other one stays where they are. And the two that came from around the corner continuing to watch you, and you see the door open at the building next to the church, and a few more guards appear to exit.
Are they like coming towards us? Or are they like still, or they're going out, but they're kind of doing their own like patrolling or going elsewhere?
They're coming out, but the they seem to be just kind of assessing the situation. Um, as the one person that went to retrieve them probably filled them in on the situation
Hmm.
from
Yeah,
there.
they're still antsy.
Yeah.
Let's get out of sight.
We we still have a lead that is not here that we should chase down trying
I
before trying to get past these um these fellows. But we at least see that they are become agitated very quickly.
I agree. We should find this Hulester person. So is there like some symbol or uniform that identifies them as Athar?
Um, so you're familiar of the symbol of Athar, but none of the guards appear to wear anything signifying a relationship with the Athar.
I still think we should go and talk to Hulester, but I'm wondering if it may be possible, like, to figure out if all of the workmen were also Athar.
Hmm. They're either lying or they're mercenaries hired by
Uh,
the
I could see why the Harmonium would assign someone to act as security if the Harmonium is not going to do that themselves. But I am curious who has ordered the demolishing of this church, as that seems something the Athar would be uh, very much in favor of. But then why did the Harmonium have to assign them to guard the building? And who owns the building that they are demolishing it? Hulester may know the answer to some of these questions. And whoever the workmen are, perhaps we can find a way to join the workmen, assuming that demolishment hasn't completely ceased.
Or at the very least, learn of an alternate way to get into the church other than through the front door.
Yes. And Hulester may also know basic questions like whose church it was when it was still in operation. It sounds as if he was drummed out of the organization recently.
A lot of people we go to aren't very friendly towards us.
That's true, but Hulester was disgraced into leaving his position with the Athar. And since what we want is apparently at odds with what they want, he might be more receptive to helping us. And then we can always bribe him. We were willing to pay Trunfeld for information.
Do we know where
Why
he's
not
at?
Hulester?
Do we know where he's at?
I assume we would have gotten some information about where he is, assuming that Sereth knew anything about where he is.
Uh, she said that he lives in the neighborhood, um, but didn't provide much more information than that.
This neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
We could go ask our new Athar friends if they know who he is. I'm sure they'd love to tell us about their disgraced former comrade.
They do love questions.
Maybe if you don't, maybe if you don't ask it, then just demand that they tell. Maybe that'll work.
Chaz is looking for the closest resident.
Okay. Uh, so there is somebody. Hold on. So there's somebody that is apparently walking a pet on a leash, but it looks like a small Chinese dragon. Like the size of a ferret.
And this is Sigil. Who knows which one is the pet?
Just like in Men in Black.
Well, as soon as Chaz sees that and realizes they are walking some kind of creature, he just grabs Cadeau. You might want to go talk to them, bro. Like ask them where the pet park is or something. You could start the conversation.
What if it tries to eat my guy? I'm going to come up with a name for you.
Well, don't let that happen, bro.
You might spoil the friendship. You should probably talk to him.
All right. Hey, bro.
Oh, you talking to me?
That's right, bro.
Uh, Look, you're not a bubber looking for money, are you? I don't have any.
Well, say what, bro? Like in these threads with these locks, I'm a bummer? What?
Yeah, sorry, there's a lot of people that beg around here. Um, I didn't even I just heard your voice and assumed though you are quite stunning, I have to say.
Nothing. I hadn't heard that before. Yeah, don't let that distract you, bro. Let's focus on what my question here. We're looking for Hadar. Hadar, what's this cat's name now, bros?
Hulester.
That's right, bro. You know this cat?
Oh, that's that disgraced body. Oh, I've seen him around. Uh, the sod is probably if you're gonna find him, you'll probably find him at the Ubiquitous Wayfarer. It's a tavern down the street.
Oh, it sounds kind of sketchy, bro.
No, it's actually pretty nice establishment.
Okay. Well, appreciate the info, bro.
No problem. Am I, might I see you again around here?
Maybe if you're lucky enough, bro.
I
And I
hope I get
flip
that
him
lucky.
one jink.
Oh, don't cheapen the moment.
Chaz can't even hear him.
Yeah.
He's walking away. Headphones on.
I feel like Chaz would probably at least fist bump him.
So he goes back to walking his pet Chinese dragon thing, whatever it might be.
Well, that was good conversation we had with that, bro. You know, some people actually answer questions, right, bros?
It's
Not
not
those not those Athar guys. They would not answer questions. They immediately jump to violence.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's a, it's a miracle that they're still around. Like, I think they'd have been wiped out by now.
Let's
Always
go to
starting
this
shit.
let's go to this tavern, bros. Find out what's going on.
Let's go have a look.
What was
I
the
know how
name
to
of
get
the
there.
tavern?
What was it?
The Ubiquitous Wayfarer.
Yeah.
Right, bros? What he said. Mysterious voice. Or was that the cranium rat?
But seriously, Bailiwick was too much for you, but ubiquitous you're fine with.
We'll look for that place, tavern. Yeah.
I'd follow Cadeau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This way.
So eventually you come to it, and it actually is a really nice tavern. It's 3 stories tall. Um, as you walk in, you find that the tavern is at full capacity, and something about the place tells you that it's pretty much always full. The smell of smoke, uh, and drink and middle class cagers is thick in the air as the din from the talking and the two mediocre musicians playing pipes in the corner. A large statue that several folks seem to be studying very carefully stands in the center of the tap room. And even though the establishes is full, there is a um a hostess that brings you to a table. She provides a menu and asks, so what can I get you?
What is your favorite?
Well, I do particularly like the uh the chaos salad. It's tossed greens, edible flowers, and randomly selected planar fruit. Um, the plate even changes color as you eat it. That's that's a nice, uh, refreshing dish. As for drinks, there's Sigil coffee if you're looking for a little bit of a pick-me-up, or uh, some fizzy ether pop. Of course, there's always a house ale.
Can't go wrong with that.
All of one of your house ales and that that dish you described, the salad with the plate that changes colors sounds enlightening.
Sure. Um, and then so the menu, it has a number of interesting things on it. Uh, spiced modern puffs, which are crisp fried dough balls dusted with powdered cinnamon and ground nutmeg. Um, ether jelly, which
You
is
had me at cinnamon. I'll take it.
wobbling translucent jelly filled with a faintly glowing uh salt crystals. Uh,
Well, I'll get that.
there's also Outland's stew, which is a hearty beef or goat stewed, simmered with root vegetables and barley. Uh, Beetleback roast, large beetle carapace split and grilled with tender white meat inside, served with garlicky butter. Celestial catch, river fish from Elysium, roasted with herbs, gives a faint aftertaste of honey.
That sounds expensive.
It's a little on the pricier side. 9 jink.
How much is the ethereal goo?
Uh, that's 2 jink.
I want that fish.
Okay.
Did you say ethereal soda pop or something?
Fizzy ether pop,
Yeah.
carbonated soft drink flavored with astral fruit. Um, and oh, we have this very new diluted Styx water. It's mostly safe and gives just the faintest tingle of forgetfulness. It's really good for a stressful day after work.
What if we were drugged?
I am surprised that they don't have a new supplier who's given them moon pies to add to the menu.
Hmm.
He had to go somewhere. All we know is he left Fernia.
I will pass on the Styx water, but duly noted. Have we heard of Styx water?
Um,
Is that like a common thing?
maybe not you since you're from Eberron, right? Your character's from Eberron.
Yeah.
So probably not you, but I imagine the others are fairly. I mean, Styx is a fairly well-known place. Or the River Styx, and uh, was it Avernus?
It runs between them, right? That's where the fucking war between demons and devils is fought around the Styx. I understand it goes straight down to the 9th level.
That makes sense.
I wonder if this is what caused us to lose our memories.
I don't know when we would have drank it.
We could have been drugged. But I've never been drugged and then woke up feeling great.
Has Dobrun been drugged often?
I thought that's how drugs worked.
Not that I remember.
Do you often miss time?
Not that I'm aware of. But until I joined the True and Blue, I was traveling alone. So
Hmm.
you only miss time if time misses you.
So I will still order the ethereal goo with the glowing salt in it, and I will pick out some version of wine that goes with it. I'm not sure what goes with goo personally, but I feel like my character would know.
Uh, yeah, so they have bright wine, which is from Arborea, and it's floral and uplifting. The server highly recommends it as a pairing.
I'll go with that.
That sounds like it could go well with what I have.
Yeah, it does go nicely with that.
How much is that?
Forging for a glass. 12 jink for a bottle.
Hmm.
But if you're getting it and I'm getting it, we should get
Gotta
the
get a
bottle.
bottle. Of
Yeah.
course.
Will cost exactly the same. Just have to have an extra half glass each.
Oh no. All right. It was 12, right?
12 for the bottle.
Yeah.
Shall we split it?
Guess that's fine.
All right, so she takes your orders and goes back into the kitchen. So as I mentioned, it's a very lively establishment. The music is fine. It's nothing special, but it's certainly passable just to, be a nice background for conversation. It's not overly uh distracting. Um, there's a lot of interesting characters looking about the place.
Anybody watching us?
Not that you've immediately noticed.
I give my friend another piece, um, just a small piece to say there's something real special coming. It's just like that's what I'm thinking. Like something special's coming. Anticipation. But I also then tell it, but keep an eye out for me. You know, I don't know how to simplify that for him, so I just project it, and that's what happens.
Uh, he does that slight whine in anticipation for what's to come that you've promised.
Mhm.
You may want to keep your new friend out of sight.
Why's that?
Considering you just picked him out of a trash can.
They don't know
And
that.
many people would probably consider cranium rats to be vermin because they are vermin.
You're gonna hurt his feelings.
Unless there are a bunch more cranium rats around here, I don't think I'm going to hurt his feelings.
No, I'm telling you, you're wrong. This little guy's special.
He may well be. He seems to have taken a liking to you. And that's unusual in and of itself.
I suppose so. All the other ones ran away. I never tried to give it food though.
Perhaps that is how you charmed your new friend. But when she comes back, you should ask her about the church. She might know some rumors working here and all. And
Yeah,
ask her about our friend Hulester. If he's so frequent here that a random passerby knows who he is, she probably does as well.
right. I'll still look around just to see if anybody is. Or I guess you said I couldn't. I couldn't really tell. So, yeah,
Well, if you want to do a more conscientious like scanning, uh, you can give me a check if you want.
yeah. Seems like the thing to do. Always got to check the room. I don't know, perception or insight, or it's the same either way to me.
Insight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no one sticks out specifically. Bunch of people may be looking at in your direction at any given moment, but none of their gazes seem to linger longer than what you would expect in a passing glance.
Alrighty. Waiting patiently otherwise.
Anything you guys are doing before the lady gets back?
Dobrun's,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Dobrun's just gonna start looking, like looking out for Hulester, someone who, I mean, he's got like in his mind this someone who's kind of drinking themselves silly, or maybe seems like they're alone and maybe not necessarily taking care of themselves. So he's going to be scanning like the crowd for kind of that someone who would match that description.
Okay. It's a little bit more difficult for you because this establishment is larger than 30 feet.
Yeah, I mean he would go, within 30 feet of him
Hmm.
to
It's also
see.
three floors. Maybe it's like guest rooms upstairs or something.
Well,
Uh,
if there are 10-foot floors, uh, he might be able to see through them. 3 feet of wood or dirt. So maybe the second floor.
uh, okay. Uh, yeah, I'll let you do insight because you're not just looking for people, you're trying to guess their intentions.
Yeah. It's about as good as I could hope with a one.
All right, I'm gonna send you a message. And this time I'll actually send it to you and not the group.
Oh, that's your hope.
Yeah. This new chat thing is weird.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't even notice that they had changed it. But yeah, it went from intuitive to I guess I click new chat.
okay.
What is the person I'm looking at that catches my attention? What are they wearing?
Uh, So this person, they're what they're wearing uh is layered veils of gauzy silk that um because this person that you're noticing, their skin glitters like quartz, flecked with veins of gold that catch torchlight. And so the layered veils of gauzy silk is meant to dull this sparkle so that it doesn't draw too much attention.
Okay. This, it seems there's someone who I think needs a listening ear. The path is leading me to them. And he gestures over to the man sitting at a table, kind of staring off into space. I will approach him and just watch my back.
Okay. Actually, if we could just take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Okay. So, Dobrun, you tell everybody that you're gonna walking off to talk to this person, and asking everybody to watch your back. So, how do you approach?
Dobrin would approach. He would grab Hale to get a second ale from the person, the waiter, and then once he had that, he would walk over with both ales. And is he sitting at a bar, or is he sitting at a two top or a four top?
Uh, I don't know what a two top or a four top is.
Like a table where there's like two people could sit.
Oh, it's a two top, and he is sitting alone.
So he like brings over both beers and like sits at the empty space across from him. And like puts the drink down in front of him, saying, "You look like you could use a friend, or at least an ear.
So,
My name
sorry.
is Dobrun, and I could sense your despair from across the bar. I hope you don't mind me being too forward, but it's our duty to help those in need."
So, you want to play piano? Maddox wants to play piano. It's almost midnight. She wants to play piano.
Tell her to get out of your ass.
Oh, nice. You play some, okay, play some more music. Do you guys hear it? Is it bothering you? Okay.
No, I don't hear it at all.
All right. So when you approach this person, you realize that they are likely an earth genasi, with crystalline growths on their skin. Their face is angular, with faintly glowing amber eyes that lack any pupils. And another notable feature is that their hands are heavy and square, with their nails polished like stone. And when he responds, his voice carries a low, resonant timbre, almost like echoing in a cavern. He says, "Hello, Dobrun. I appreciate the drink, but I am curious why you are sitting at my table."
Dobrun kind of creases his brow. I I apologize, but I do not recall meeting each other before.
What's that?
I apologize, but I don't recall meeting you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you introduced yourself as
Oh yeah,
Dobrun.
I did introduce myself. All right. Well, you seemed you seemed sad. And sometimes the best ear is the one is one that is a complete stranger. For they don't know your background, they don't know who you are or what you did. They can come at you with an unbiased view.
There are many people here sad, I would assume. Sad people tend to go to taverns. But also, many people like to know secrets, things that others may share to be used against them. I don't know you, and I don't trust you. Just because you are a stranger does not mean that you are safe. Just because you bring drink does not mean that you are one to be welcome.
Those are fair points. I follow the teachings of the path. It is a force that binds those together, that binds individuals and the greater cosmology into its ever-winding threads. Though my sight is gone, I can see because the path illuminates that in front of me. And to be to be to be candid, it seemed to illuminate around you, and it only does so when when there is something of import to draw me towards it. I know not why, but you must be special in some way.
Of
Now
course,
I I offer you there's no words of safety I think I can offer you that you would believe. But we can talk of other things, of pleasantries, if you wish.
Well, I would like to think that I am special, but I do not know this path you speak of. I do not believe in any such thing. And so it seems your path has misled you. I would rather be alone. I suppose if you are being honest, the outreach is appreciated, but better spent elsewhere, perhaps, on one more open to being uplifted.
Well, may I ask what troubles you? Is there something that you could use a lending hand with?
Give me a persuasion check, and you can roll with advantage.
I'm gonna need that.
Okay. I find
Just
myself surprised, but still, I cannot deny feeling the genuineness with which you present yourself. If you must know, there are many things that trouble me. First and foremost, my heart seeks one who is not even aware of my existence. And with that, because your sight is not limited to your eyes, but you sort of sense everything around you, moving to his table, you're now close enough to notice that his gaze is often falling upon uh, the barkeep, at a woman behind the bar who is serving drinks and doing all the work that one might expect of a barkeep. I have also had a bit of a falling for grace, as it were. He takes a drink, but before he does so, he raises it to you to touch your glass.
Dobrun cheers him and drinks. Have you tried telling her? Have you tried introducing yourself to her?
One such as me approaching one such as them, it could never work. I recognize what I am, how distasteful it can be. I'm pragmatic. I'm a realist and I understand the way that things are.
Though you are shrouded under your shroud, you glitter like diamonds. I'm sure you are just being hard on yourself.
Is that a diamond joke, being hard on myself?
It's 10 out of
You've
10.
offended him with your racism. Your diamond joke about the earth. Genasi.
Nothing is certain. At least not until you try. And even then, even if you were rejected, circumstances change. Things.
Somewhere this speech is giving hope to Trinfeld.
She has a little internal ding. I got a chance.
It's like an eye cut out in the wall,
Yeah.
through a knot.
This is one of a series of taverns she runs.
Well,
You do not understand. I I mean, look at me. Look at the crystals that grow over my body. They are not supple. They are not warm. They are not comforting to touch. The one I care for, the one I desire, she is soft. She is warm. She would be hurt by my touch. My edges would cut into her flesh. As I said, I am a realist, and so I know my curse is to yearn from afar, wishing I could experience what I yearn for, and yet knowing I can never have it.
I'm
Not like literally rough. I meant figuratively rough.
I'm that is indeed tough.
What
Do
of you? I have shared. Now you share. This won't be a one-sided cry fest.
well, the fact that I am lost. I left my monastery, having been a failed monk, but still have learned enough of the path that I can see there is a destiny yet to be a destiny yet to be achieved. And so I found my way to Sigil. And here I wander, just trying to figure out just what I'm supposed to be doing. What my purpose is. I found a few friends, but it seems most people here are hostile. It is not a friendly place.
No, Sigil is not a friendly place, but it is strange. You walk a path so confidently, and yet you know not where it takes you. Odd.
It is the only path I've ever known, and so far has not led me astray. And so
That's not what I hear. I hear that it has led you to a place where you have no family, no roots, no true goals, no real purpose. That does not seem like a path worth walking. That seems like a path into darkness.
at times it is sad, but at other times it is liberating. Where I'm free to choose my own destiny every day, not tied down by anything. And
How
there's
can you
something comforting about that.
how can you choose when you have committed to walk a single path? How do you choose all of these things when the path leads you to where it wants you to be? It has led you here not because you desire my company, but for some unknown purpose and reason. That does not seem like choice. That seems like fate. It seems like a prison that you are forced to walk along. It is not a path, but a rail upon which you are trapped.
There's no more prison than any other chain or construct that would bind us.
I prefer to break any prison, any construct, any things that would keep us from living truly, from living authentically.
Then it seems we must both break our prisons. And he raises his glass to cheers him.
And he'll raise his and cheers you, and he says, I am Hulester, an anarchist. He doesn't actually say the anarchist part. I just thought it was fitting given the discussion.
I was thinking it would be funny if by the end Dobrun was in tears and it's like the path is bullshit.
My life is a lie.
I didn't see it going there, but I'm so glad it did. I think that's a good place for us to wrap up for tonight.
Sounds good.
So what do people think getting back into it? How was it?
It was good. I liked you clearly had planned out some of your descriptions, but particularly the vision. I will probably go and watch again when the video's up because that was pretty good. I like the little philosophical conversation at the end between Dobrun and Hulester, where it looked like Hulester was scoring some points.
He made some good points.
Right. I mean, he is one of the or formerly one of the lost. They don't believe in deities, so he has this natural inclination to attacking people's religions.
Yeah. No, it was
He's
good.
he's like the anti-Charlie Kirk of Sigil.
No, yeah, I enjoy. I mean, because that's like I think that's one of the things about Planescape is it's very philosophical. So it was good to dig into that piece of it since that is like a core part of the world and the universe.
Mhm. It's also cool you guys picked up a cranium rat.
Yep. That was unexpected.
You muted, Tony.
So I'm going to try and get a network going here.
Given your crit success on that, you can add find familiar to your list of known spells. And the cranium rat is now considered a familiar for you.
Now we just need to turn it into a cranium rat king.
Yeah. And then Tony can be the familiar.
I mean, I just assumed I was gonna. I mean, at fourth level, I was gonna look into that telepathy or the telepathic. I'm pretty sure there's a feat, right?
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah.
for some telepathy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Properly
would say like
engage
there's got to
this
be a
rat.
feat that would let you like take up enough artificer stuff that you can make like a metal hat for all your cranium rats that you're slowly accumulating.
Amplify,
Right.
extend the range, build a mesh. They got a mesh network.
A mini cranium rat cerebro.
Right.
It's all of Sigil. Did I just become the next big bad? I don't know.
Except it's probably more at some point it's going to be the cranium rats puppeting you because they're way smarter than you.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, this one's my friend, and so he's going to protect me.
It's like the inverse. It's like the brain in like Pinky and the Brain, like where the mouse was on the mechanical puppet. That's the rat that's on. You are the mechanical puppet.
Right. I mean, is it them puppeting me, or is it our consciousness melding together and we are one being, you know?
It certainly will make you think that's the case.
Right.
Because it is.
That's an interesting character concept of like Legion. If you play like a rat king, or you play like a swarm of cranium rats.
A gestalt consciousness.
Yeah.
That is a good character concept. Like somebody who's just like close to brain dead, but he's got like pockets full of cranium rats that are puppeting him.
He's got a special spell that temporarily summons a bunch of them so that he can increase his brain power.
Oh, a dude that is just a husk for interchanging intellect devours. When he dies, a new intellect devourer just pops in.
I like it.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I know what I'm doing.
All right. Good
All
night,
right, well, thanks for playing, everybody.
Thanks for running.
yeah,
Have a
glad
good
to
night.
get back to it.
Take care.
Bye.